Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now, I've been bothered by the political rhetoric in this country for a long time. I think in recent years it has gotten way too hateful, way too nasty, and people are being abusive to folks they disagree with. And this led to a culmination today.
Suspicious packages, possibly explosive devices, according to the Secret Service, have been found in mail sent to former President Barack Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and that the Manhattan offices of CNN have been evacuated after another suspicious package was found in that company's mailroom.
The attempted bombing of a former president, former Secretary of State, and a media organization should scare us. Unfortunately, we have seen something like this very recently. You may remember the congressional baseball game where Republicans were practicing and a gunman came and shot up the field, including hitting Steve Scalise, a Republican representative. Now, horrific events like this are not what America is about. As a matter of fact, it's the kind of thing that happens in third world countries where people who disagree, it leads to violence. And unfortunately, the way people are acting in the light of this is even worse. Look at the comment from Rush Limbaugh today. Rush Limbaugh said he doesn't believe this is a Republican because this is the kind of thing Democrats do. That's ridiculous, as if violence is a political party. Unfortunately, we have stopped treating politics as a debate, but now it's a method for division and hate. Disagreements about things like tax level, immigration, and the judiciary have become a reason for us to hate each other and to actually commit acts of violence. Think about President Trump recently. He was in Montana, where a congressman once punched a reporter over simply asking him a question, and here was Trump's reaction.
But I had heard that he body slammed a reporter. Any guy that can do a body slam, he's my kind of... He's my guy.
Trump supporters decided to defend him by saying, well, he was obviously kidding. But even if he's kidding, people will see that, think he's serious, and it leads to acts of violence. But don't think Republicans are the only ones that do it. See Representative Maxine Waters, who recently had this to say about when politicians from the other side go out to eat.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
That is basically asking for harassment. And we saw it come to fruition when Mitch McConnell was at a restaurant last week and a person came up to him, harassed him, and threw his food on the floor. I am tired of seeing these acts, but they are a direct result from the way the media and politicians have recently started treating politics. Unfortunately now, we aren't just seen as people who disagree, we are seen as people who are enemies with each other. And I think it's ridiculous. If you're like me, you have friends in politics and you have friends who completely disagree with you on basic issues. I've become a progressive, but I grew up a Republican, my parents are Republicans, and actually most of the people I know tend to be Republicans. And you know what? We like each other either way. My most conservative friend in the world is named Trevor Walters. I grew up with him. My most liberal friend in the world is named DJ Sharp. I grew up with him. And not only are we all three friends, they were all in each other's weddings. That's how life is. Unfortunately, we forget it. Think about this show. Who's the most conservative person on it? Lee Cruz. Who's the most liberal? Ricky Jones. And guess what? They're friends too. But unfortunately, we've started treating disagreements with strangers as reasons to hate. And the reality is, we are much more alike than we are different. I say this all the time, but I believe it. 75% of the people in this country agree on 75% of the things. Unfortunately, people use the other 25% to divide us. Liberal folks, you may not know anybody that voted for Trump, but they're just like you. They go to church, they give to charity, and they're in your neighborhood. And conservatives, the same thing is true about people who voted for Obama. It's time we see that people on the other side aren't evil, they're simply people and citizens just like us.